Hello everyone. David Cronenberg's wife. It's lovely to be here. This first song is about the time I went to Sully's house. I went to Sully's house to watch.
Let me tell you a little story about the time I went to Sully's house. I went to Sully's house to watch. She was finishing making a cup of herbal tea. The tea bag twirled as she pulled it out from a steaming mug, which she stirred with a knife. She eats a few mouthfuls of cold lentils, using an oriental spoon, which clicks against her teeth. A plate of chives goes on top of the fish. She takes out a tiny bag from a drawer. Now listen very carefully to these 5 steps. Step 1, put a few grains on a spoon and some water. Step 2, add a pinch of sodium bicarbonate. Step 3, heat the spoon. The liquid will become clear. Step 4, put a cigarette filter on the spoon. She looks around, finds an old one relatively clean. Step 5, put the needle in the filter, fill her up. Now you know the rest. Ties off the arm, misses once, but then hits a drop of blood in the syringe. I leave soon after when the bass player of Bad Manners arrives. A true story. This is Alan, this is Anna, this is Tom, that's Dave, that's Mary, I'm also Tom, and collectively we are David Cronenberg's wife. Sully's house. So when we arrived, I said to the front tower, maybe
Maybe we shouldn't be rocking out. Maybe not a rock out venue.
You can rock out.
And then Bitchfinder General came up on the stage and I was like, I think we've got to rock out a little bit. Including this next song, which is a biblical tale. We all know about Lot's wife. But do you know about Lot's daughters? Here's the story of Lot's daughters. So help me out here. I'm new to this town. Does this still count as Newcastle? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I only ask because I'm from Stockport, and we like to pretend that Stockport is Manchester because we don't really want to say we're from Stockport. But from here, I want to say you're from here. This is really nice around here, and it's so great to be here. And this next song is a strange song about 8 different tastes described by a man named Mark, and it's called Mark's 8 Tastes.
Firstly, we all like fermented foods, yogurt, sourdough bread, so make yourself a Greek sandwich. Second, coppery, like a penny. Metallic, like having big elite tip. Make like your Christopher Lee in Dracula. Third, sweet, like black treacle or molasses. We don't mean Woolworth's chicken mix or freshly baked cookies. We mean robust and unrefined. 4, chemical like a newly cleaned bathroom. And known as similar to bleach or ammonia. Think like a cleaner, on it up. 8 tastes. 8 tastes. Now don't be vegetarian, just plunge straight in. 7 onions or garlic, no problem, it's a garnish or a side dish. 8, rotten like a decaying organism. Now maybe there's a problem here, Slick. But you're in it now, just hold your nose, get the job done. 8 tastes. 8 tastes.
Thanks a lot. I'm going to take it down a little bit here for my true-to-life tale. You know, Jeff Lewis has the Chelsea Hotel all sex song. This is my equivalent. This is the time I met a mermaid. It's called The Mermaid's Tale. I can't really see you, so I'm going to come down here. Oh, there you are. I was sailing just off Hydra in the middle of July. The sun was streaming down, my mouth was sore and dry. I'd been at sea for half a year. I'd left behind the land in which my wife had left me. Why, I couldn't understand. So I was sailing to my end towards a watery grave. I planned to drown myself, disappear beneath the waves. I had these thoughts when suddenly a pair of piercing eyes fixed upon me from the water, and from what I could surmise, a woman treading water, pale skin with golden hair. She dove down for a minute as if she didn't need the air. Then to my ship with rapid moves, so graceful and so bold, and climbed onto a jutting rock, and then I did behold. She was a mermaid, fair of face with eyes of Persian green, and breasts that glistened in the sun of every boyhood dream. Her skin had swept into a shimmer of rainbow nacre scales that ended into bluish fronds of flapping mermaid tail. Mermaid's tail. Mermaid's tail. She beckoned me with such a look, what could I do but throw my anchor into the sea? And what could I do but... Let me start that again. She beckoned me with such a look, what could I do but throw my anchor into the sea and shoot into the waves below? I swam to her with desperate arms, with nothing more to lose. I'd gladly let her strangle me, seaweed for a noose. But then she spoke, I bear no harm, won't keep you from your ship. I bring you pearls from azure shores and rings of water nymphs. But in return something of you, of yours and yours alone. I need a mate, now spring is gone, and you can go back home. What a sudden rush of feeling, of lust and blood and joy. I felt somehow renewed again, like once again a boy. So when she said, take off your clothes, I did nothing but obey, and stripped myself of my wet garb, happy and afraid. I stood before her naked, her eyes they drifted down. A puzzled look passed across her face, was it something like a frown? Mermaid's tale, mermaid's tale. Okay then, so I'm ready, won't you change into your legs? She rolled those sea green eyes and stopped, that's a story written by men. So what's the plan, I said to her, where do I need to go? One thing that I have learnt in love, it surely needs a hole. You've read too many tales, she said, from children's storybooks. We're not magic, we are flesh. I'm here, just take a look. Mermaids don't have vulvas, and there is no cloacal kiss. You've one shot, you've one shot, you've one shot, do not miss. But first I need to lay my eggs, and she rolled onto her front, gasping, sighing, moaning, and then making little grunts. And with breathing ever shallow, she pressed up with both arms, her slender body trembled, and grasping with her palms from a slippery fold of scaly skin, she expelled some kind of spawn into the shallow waters, and it shone like a beetle's horn, warm and wet and smelling strange like rum or caviar. I stood there still and helpless beneath the sun, the moon and stars. Mermaid's tale, mermaid's tale. I need to be aroused, I said, can I kiss you for a while? I'd rather not, came the response, human germs are vile. But you can look at me, she said, while drawing back a hair. There's no pleasure in this for me, but I do not really care. So don't just stand there, do your bit, I'll watch you as you come. I was too polite to swim back now, I stood there cold and dumb, and started pulling on my man until it grew half hard. I tried to feign enjoyment, a ridiculous charade. At first I looked into her eyes, but it really put me off, and she made it worse by half when she gave a little cough. So I just grit my teeth, eyes down, and thought of my ex-wife. How this had quickly turned into the worst hour of my life. After 60 minutes of hard toil, I produced the needed seed that oozed out from a weeping eye, unimpressively, like a leaking can of oil, or drops from dripping taps, the last scrapings from a bottle, or dribbling candle wax that slowly oozed on top of her glistening eggs. I stood there exhausted, my tail between my legs, and with that she rolled into the shimmering sea. The moral of this story, don't fulfill the fantasy, and always do your homework on mermaid biology. Mermaid's tale, mermaid's tale, mermaid's tale, mermaid's tale, yes, oh yeah. Thanks a lot. That's a new one, so unfortunately you can't buy it. So what is anti-folk? Well, I guess folk is when you play this instrument on your legs, and anti-folk is when you play it standing up like a guitar. That's it. It's a debut for the Appalachian Dulcimer on the tour. And in love, sometimes, you know, sometimes you win in love, and it's like, yay, you were fun. Sometimes you lose, and it's like, ooh, sad and lost. Other times, it's like a draw. It's like a score draw, if you're a football fan. So this song is called Drawn Again. You wrote your own narrative in a language only you understand. I tried to pick up your pencil. You stamped on my hand. I'll tell you how a woman can mean an empire to a man. And you tell me how she can betray him for a used car salesman. And I found I had drawn again. I found I had drawn again. I learned that in the end, loving well is really not that wise. So I became the world's kindest stalker. I'll stop doing it if you realize. Like the girl on the 12 o'clock train, she was an actress, I could tell. She was reading Stanislavski, but I couldn't act natural. And I found I had drawn again. Drawn again. She said that I'm far too hungry, got to get that full look in my eyes. Like you've just had dessert, sipping the coffee, wiping my mouth, paying the bill, saying my goodbyes. And she asked me if I thought I was the only one who ever felt like a fool. I said yes. There's something I want to get off my chest. Only problem is, it's my chest. And I found I had torn, yeah, drawn again. Yeah, drawn again. Thanks very much. We've got one more for you. If you want to chat, I'll be out on the merch stand later. We've got our first music in 5 years out on a very, very limited edition vinyl. And I'm not going to put it on digital or Spotify. It's exclusive just to that vinyl, and you can buy it out there with tour posters. And so if you're going to check out Jeff's incredible merch, please check out ours. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Enjoy Jeffrey Lewis. This next song, some people divide the world into extroverts and introverts. I divide them into pushers and jumpers. I'm going to explain the difference in this song. There are two ways when the train comes. When the train comes, you either want to jump, you want to jump, or you want to push someone down. Now, which are you? Which are you? Which one of you? Are you a pusher or a jumper? Step out on the railway tracks. Step out on the railway tracks. Step out. Step out on the railway tracks. Step out on the railway tracks. Step out.
David Cronenberg's live. Monday Night Warriors, we love you. Enjoy Jeffrey Lewis. David Cronenberg's live. Good night.